You have to remember that the journey to pride did not start at some neutral place. People came all the way from shame to pride. That's a long journey.
The military had latched onto a new theory that had been presented by psychiatry about we weren't really criminals, we were just mentally ill.
And then when the war was beginning to end and the men weren't needed so much, they started getting rid of gay men from the military. They were being given blue slips, which meant they were not allowed to get a job. You know, all their rights were basically stripped by these.
No one even said the word gay or lesbian out loud.
It was something that was so not discussed.
In 1969, an event took place that is referred to today as Stonewall.
On this early June morning, police moved on a small Greenwich Village bar. Such action against gay male hangouts was routine, but this time patrons fought back.
It's been the hallmark that everyone has been able to grab a hold of and say, we had Stonewall, this was our coming out.
And activism never stopped from that time on.
I shall resign the presidency.
I think in the 70s, there was a real revolution.
So in 1973, the American Psychiatric Association removed homosexuality as a mental disorder.
We were now living our lives openly. We were carving out our own culture. And then all of a sudden, we were blindsided.
It is estimated that 1.5 million people are now infected with the AIDS virus.
I watched shock and despondency turn into this powerful movement to get attention about the real meaning of the AIDS epidemic.
Things have changed, you know, there's a lot more visibility with, you know, gay and lesbian issues.
To be my lifetime partner.
Every time I hear of a new star or new celebrity or a new politician that's out there that's openly gay or lesbian, that's such a relief. Like, I'm being represented.
Maybe our generation wasn't the one that got us here from the 70s, but we'll be the ones to get us further.
The West Village in New York City, the Castro in San Francisco, places where gays, lesbians, bisexuals, and transgenders live and work peacefully and happily. But as you may have guessed, these are not typical neighborhoods in the United States. Though gays and lesbians have become more accepted throughout the country, homophobia and bigotry still exist.
You know, depending on where you are in the country, you know, it's not always safe to be gay. There are people who will throw rocks at you. There are people who will call you names.
There are a lot of kids who use the word fag.
Oh, fag is used all the time. All the time, everywhere.
I mean, we've been yelled at in the street.
There are neighborhoods I walk in San Francisco even, where I don't hold my girlfriend's hand because I don't want to get beat up.
There are people who will kill you.
We can use Matthew Shepard as a perfect example.
Shepard's badly beaten body was tied to a wooden fence. Police say he'd been left for dead because he's gay.
Where do you see that God laughs at that? Where you see that?
It's crazy. It's just a general ignorance and an apathy.
That's basically where it comes from. People don't understand something. They tend to fear it.
Homosexuality is nothing new. We've had it ever since history began, since life began, whether it's among the animal kingdom or among Homo sapiens.
Why do people have different sexual orientations? Is it upbringing? Genetics? No one really knows for sure, but they do know it's not an illness, it's not a choice, and it's not abnormal.
There's a lot of theories going around as to like why people are gay. You know, the idea that it's a choice, you know, who would choose to be persecuted to this extent? You know, the idea that there's something about the way they're raised. I mean, we're all most of us are raised by heterosexual parents. So, you know, that's out the window. There's a lot of theories about it being genetic, and you know, from what I see, it's quite possible. A lot of the gay people I know have a gay brother or sister or other homosexuals in their family.
You don't choose to like a man, or you don't choose to like a woman. It's like what instinct drives you to, like when you're born, what instinct when you turn 12, when you hit puberty, drives you to want a woman? It's like there's got to be an instinct that drives you to want a man.
You know what makes us gay? Who cares? Just thank God I am.
There was a time when the word gay simply meant happy or carefree. But now, to most of us, it means homosexual.
Homosexuality seems to be a term that's sort of more clinical. You know, I think that a lot of gay and lesbian people prefer gay and lesbian versus homosexual.
I would consider myself a lesbian.
Like if someone asks me now, like to this day, I'll go say that I'm gay.
Anything but straight.
I am what I am. I am gay. I am a drag performer. I am Andrew.
I'm bisexual.
Like lesbian, queer, gay.
I like using queer, but then just knowing the history of queer and just like what it meant like 30 years ago is nothing what it means now.
Personally, there's a lot of people that are comfortable with the word queer, but I'm not comfortable with it.
I think more and more the trend is to just use the initials and make it an acronym. So now it will be GLBTQ.
You know, it is gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, questioning.
Put those all together, it's GLBTQ. It's used to describe the community so that we're not keeping anyone out because their sexuality might not exactly fit with the word gay.
I guess I would define the term gay as any person who has sexual or affectional attraction towards the same sex. You know, sometimes it's used as an umbrella term for lesbians, but I think it's important to distinguish, you know, gay versus lesbian.
I think that I'm not gay, but being gay is a part of who I am. And I think a lot of people fail to realize that it's not what they are, it's who they are. It's just a little piece of it. It's like, if I play football and I'm gay, I still play football. I'm still a good football player. Like I'm a quarterback, star quarterback. I could still play football. But I also like men. It doesn't make me who I am. It's a part of who I am.
My brother once said to me, "Isn't that like so unnatural that you want to sleep with a woman?" And I said, let me ask you the same question. Is it unnatural that you want to sleep with a woman? Because for me, it's unnatural to want to sleep with a man. And I was raised that it was wrong to be a lesbian. So I tried to have sexual feelings for a man, and it didn't happen. And it still hasn't. And I don't think it will. But I totally get it that my brother loves women. He's a heterosexual. Well, good for him. And I also really understand that some people are bisexual, that they love men and women.
I'm attracted to both females and males. So I guess in that term or whatever, like the closest thing would be bisexual.
Bisexuality really is, you know, about the existence of sexual orientation fluidity. You know, that, you know, there's only a certain small percentage of people that are strictly, you know, straight or strictly gay, and that there's this whole wonderful melting pot of everything in between there.
It's really hard because we come from a society where you're either straight or you're gay, and sometimes a lot of people don't know there's an in-between.
A transgender is someone who's physically a man or a woman, but feels like the opposite sex.
It's not simply about being gay. It's this feeling that you are not the gender that you physically are. You know, that you're a woman in a man's body or a man in a woman's body. Most of us feel that we are the gender that we are, but that's not the case for everyone.
There's different levels of that. Like there's a transsexual who basically is the same thing, but they're either pre-op or post-op, which means they're pre-operation or post-operation, they've had the surgery or they're going to have the surgery. And then there's a drag queen, which is me. I don't live as a woman, but it's fun to go out and just have fun with it and put makeup on and all kind of stuff. It's just fun to do. Questioning youth or adults who they're questioning and they're not really gay and they're not really transgender and they're not really bi and they're not lesbian. They're just kind of questioning of who they are.
Sexuality is a continuum It's a whole line, and there are people all along the way. And if we could ever get that, we could even let go of these categories and labels that we wear.
While these labels can help a person identify their sexual orientation, there are many myths and stereotypes that go along with these terms.
You know, you have all these stereotypes about gay people. You have stereotypes about gay youth that they either commit suicide or they're off, you know, having promiscuous sex.
Every homosexual man is a potential child molester.
Like my straight friends, they'll see like gay guys, be like, oh my God, watch out, they'll try to like get in your pants.
There's a myth that gay adults like myself want to recruit gay youth, and that's just not true.
I was sent to therapy to overcome my phase, the phase that I'm going through. My therapist was really great. She said that my mom should actually get checked into therapy, and I'm not the one to be there.
It can be really detrimental to a youth's and an adult's sense of well-being, you know, that it can increase the likelihood of suicidality, it can increase the rate of depression, anxiety, you know, that it can be really detrimental.
No, I want to like broadcast it, that there are Christian people, there are Jewish people, there are Muslim people. I know a Muslim gay group, that people who love their faith, whatever it is, and are completely out.
All I know is I'm faithful and I'm religious and I believe in God in it. So God loves me, and I don't think God really is that concerned of if I'm gay or not.
Lesbians are seen as bulldaggers, diesel dykes, a mannish woman, a truck driver.
If you're lesbian, you're butch, and if you're gay, you're femme.
I don't particularly act effeminate, I don't have a high voice, I don't do this.
A lot of people come out and they think they gotta act like all girly. And then some people come out and then they kind of don't want to. They want to be who they are, they want to just stay that way. And then there are some people who actually have very effeminate mannerisms.
You know, we shouldn't be ashamed of our gay brothers who are more feminine, or, you know, our lesbian sisters who are more masculine. You know, they're part of the community. They're not the only part of the community, and the media needs to show that, but they're part of us, and talking about that as negative, that's what I think needs to be changed.
We come just like all human beings in every size, every description, every flavor, as we are just as diverse as any group.
The music a person listens to, the way they act or dress, does not determine whether or not a person is gay. This is something people have to discover for themselves.
I always knew it, but I never really acted upon it.
The first time I admitted it to myself, I think I was about 17 or 18.
I didn't come out until I'm not even out right now.
When I first came out, it wasn't really so much of me weighing the benefits or not, it was just, this feels like I should be doing this.
I think coming out it's really important to realize that it's not a single event, that it's a progression of coming out, you know, and that it happens in a lot of different stages.
While not everyone follows the same path, most experts agree that there are 6 common stages in coming to terms with your own sexual identity.
The first stage of coming out is confusion. I mean, it's that time when you know you're different, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And I think that happens more to little kids who are realizing that, you know, they live in a world of heterosexuals. Their parents are heterosexuals. Everybody you see in the media, you know, straight couples, but somehow that doesn't feel right.
People never told me how I was supposed to feel watching certain shows. Like, I didn't even notice myself that when I watched Baywatch, I was more interested in the guy getting out of the pool in a bikini than the women running down the beach with their breasts jiggling, you know? And I didn't understand that I was more